first activities in 5S implementation is to conduct Seiri activities. The condition of workplace, if not been maintained accordingly, piles of unused items normally will created. Then the space will start to clutter. Work area will become squeezed and congested. In order to transform the workplace into brand new condition with less clutter, comprehensive Seiri or a sorting methodology is required. If Seiri being implemented effectively, problems and difficulties in workplace reducing and at the same time improving quality and productivity. In 5S, the first 3 activities start with Seiri. Seiri eliminate unnecessary items in the workplace, and the main activities in Seiri is sorting. Sorting involves the process of identifying unnecessary items in the work area, remove the unnecessary items, and disposition of the unnecessary items. All these unnecessary items, either it is a big item such as workbench, machines, shelves, material, or small items such as tools, bits, documents, need to remove immediately to create space. Without Seiri, searching items, for example tools, documents, and material will become common. This will create an hectic and stressed environment in the workplace. At the same time, the area also will become unsafe. Unused items such as scattered wires, tubings can create safety hazards by accidentally trips onto it. The employee also work half-hearted when the area is untidy.
Kami menghadapi masalah di mana dokumen-dokumen di tempat kerja kami semakin bertambah dari tahun ke tahun. Kami ada meminta pada pihak majikan supaya dapat menyediakan rak-rak yang baru untuk menampung dokumen tersebut. Pihak majikan menyarankan agar kami dapat mengasingkan dokumen mana yang perlu disimpan dan juga perlu dilupuskan. Dengan adanya aktiviti ini, kami dapati masih banyak lagi rak yang boleh digunakan. Oleh itu, pihak majikan tidak perlu membazirkan wang untuk membeli rak-rak yang baru.
There are 3 steps in implementing Seiri. The first step is to identify unnecessary item by sorting the necessary item with the unnecessary items. The second step is to remove the unnecessary items. And finally, the third step and the last step in Seiri implementation is to dispose the unnecessary items. So, what is considered as unnecessary items? There are many definitions of unnecessary items in 5S implementation. The most common definitions are items that is not currently used is considered as unnecessary item. For example, raw material used for next week's schedule, tools to set up the machines, and also the cleaning equipments. And for office, all computer sets, typewriters are always found as unnecessary item in the office. So the keywords is whatever not in current that is considered as unnecessary items. Next, items without exact location also considered as unnecessary items. Wait until we implement set-on in next step to identify the improvement opportunities for this item. If the item is not belong to that work areas such as pallet truck parked at the production area, or document for other departments are also considered as unnecessary item. Excessive items are also unnecessary items. Chairs, workbenches, materials, pallets, bins sometimes exceed the needed quantity in order to perform the work effectively. Also, sort out unnecessary objects which is stored for a long time. All these items need to be removed from the work area immediately. Where to search for the unnecessary items? Normally, we start with floor area. Start with rubbish and trash. Items such as used gloves, shoes, used boxes are always accumulated as a trash in your work area. It can be either on the floor or some other hiding areas. Then, look for the unused machine, tools or jigs, and at the same time check for any unidentified items, materials or work in progress on the floor. Quite common, there are defective items or item left unattended on the floor. Aisleways or walkways supposed to be clear for easy access to the work area. Ensure aisleways clear from any items either unnecessary or not, especially emergency routes and exits. Secondly, look at the operation area by focusing more underneath and behind the machine, conveyor or workbench. Pillar and underway stairs and walls are also accumulate unnecessary items. After completing floor area evaluation, focus on storage area, for example racks, shelves and cupboards. Unused items always accumulate, especially on the top and the bottom of the shelves, lockers or other storage racks. Checks inside the shelf. Good parts tools may mix with defect parts or expired parts or tools. Thirdly, look for table and workbenches. Check items on the tables, inside drawer and under the tables. Lastly, check on the wall. Is there any obsolete information on the bulletin board, non-legible informations or poster? Kindly refer to check sheet 6 for Seiri prompt list as attached in 5S guidelines provided to perform searchings or hunting for unnecessary items.
Last year, when we implement 5S, we are surprised that the unnecessary items that we found are big. They are end-of-life product machine and supporting equipment laid around off the floor, damaged pallet, product bin unattended, and start to capture dust.
The most common method for Seiri implementation, especially for identifying and removal of unnecessary items, is red tagging method. Red tagging is the most effective techniques to implement Seiri. Now, let's see how they implement red tag.
First of all, we need to prepare red tag. We decide to use a simple tag by using red color paper.
The simple red tag may only consist a blank piece of red paper or include the reminder for the tagger to fill in the tags. For example, what items they tag, where they found it, and when it has been found. We also can design a comprehensive tag that include item category, name of the items, quantity, why it needs to be removed, the tagger name, and also recommendation for dispositions.
Then we brief all the personnel on how to identify the unnecessary items and request them to tag
on the surface quality to tag by hanging the tag far. Refer to the 7th and unnecessary guide.
We also request them to remove the item immediately to red tag holding area. Some big items, we ask them to inform the facility by issuing the work order to them. If there any safety hazard, for example, unsafe wiring, pothole, again we request them to tag the problem area.
All the tag item tag holding area.
Final step on red tag activity is to evaluate the red tag items. We form the evaluation committee and evaluation committee will evaluate the item weekly. Our procedure required item in the hoarding area only can be returned for 1 week in the hoarding area. It either need to dispose or relocate the item within 1 week.
This is the final step in 5S. The second activities in 5S implementation, either after implementing Seiri or together with Seiri, is to conduct set-on activity. After Seiri has been implemented effectively, the workplace is only left with the necessary items. In order to make the area neat and tidy,